So going through all this, I can see that Sao Kiki has been able to, he really did a whole lot of work, and his explanation he explained enough, and I because I went through the class. So the basics, the introduction to functions, the average, and I hope we all practice the classwork that are under it. With the average, the min max, the if statement. For the VLOOKUP, so Kiki will take you that. So literally, I'll be opening a blank sheet. So I would like us to open a blank sheet. So we can go to our file and move to our blank workbook. Are we on the same page?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I am sure we can all do sum. In our Excel, we can do AutoSum. We went through these formulas and showed us the part of AutoSum. AutoSum. So can we just rename this first sheet? Let's rename it to SUMIF. We can give it a tab color. For our SUMIF, I'll be typing in some things and I want us to type it together. So this is what I'm going to do. It's just like a product in a fashion house. There are a lot of things they can sell in a fashion house. Talk of clothing, material, talk of bags, talk of shoes, talk of hats. So I'll be writing my product. So whose mic is on? No, what's the name? So we'll be typing in some products from a fashion store. We'll categorize it, and we are going to write the revenue. So this is what we are going to use for our SUMIF. And we might literally use it for SUMIFS too. So I want us to do it together. That's why normally I would have done it, put it inside an Excel workbook and then send it to us. But I want us to do it together. So we have our products. We have our category. And the next one, we have our revenue. So I want to make use of 3 products. I want to make use of bag, cap, and hats. bag, cap, and hat. So the bags have different colors. We have blue bag, we have red bag, we have green bag. And for the cap too, different colors. But we'll be using those three colors that I mentioned: blue, red, and green. So can we just type in that blue bag?
Oh,
So for this blue, it's just the color that is different, So what category are we going to put this? For blue bag, red bag, green bag, is also bag. We are still talking about bag. So the category is still bag. All right. For the cap, the category is still cap, irrespective of the color. We are still talking about cap. It's just the color that is what's different. And for the art, it's still what? It's still hat. For my revenue, I'm just going to put in any figure that comes to my mind. So for my revenue, let's say for the blue bag, we have total revenue of, let me say 1,000, 10,000 naira. For the red bag, we have total revenue of 20,000. Like that, like that. So I might just use my autofill function since the figure is not a company figure. So now we have for our blue bag, the total revenue we have here is 10,000. Red bag 20,000, green bag 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. Okay, the reason for the figure is just for me to do SUMIF and show you how to do SUMIF. I hope I'm audible enough and I hope you are following me. Can you just give me a thumbs up so I can know that I'm not alone? You are with me. Oh, thank you. I hope we've typed in this. So I'm using that to wait for us all. I hope you have imputed this on our system. So the product, we have the,
yes.
okay, very good. So let's just do the normal formatting. Let's differentiate our heading, all right? So we can just give it, let's change our font to probably 14. We can do our expansion on it. Let me change let me use Times New Romans. So we can do our normal expansion, AutoFit row height, AutoFit column width. So I have this. I'm not done with my formatting. I can give it a fill color of blue. So I don't want to leave the font color like that. So I want to change it to something that we can see white actually come out well. And then I have this bold. So this revenue, since we are talking about money here, we can format it. You can go through this place, or better still, you can do your normal formatting here. You can put your comma. You can reduce your decimal. And then, me, I like dollars. So I already put my dollars. Let me reduce my, so I reduced it again. Now I have this. So it's different from what we typed in earlier. And this is what I have. I have the product, I have my category, and I have my revenue. Like I said earlier, that those colors of bags is still what? Under bag. Those colors for cap is still under cap. This color for hat is still what? Now, what do we do next? We want to know the, if you want to sum it now, you know, so Kiki taught us how to sum. We can use our AutoSum, and then we have this, enter. So that is just the AutoSum. Now I want to know the total number for bag separately. I want to know the total number for cap separately. I want to know the total number for hat separately. That's where the SUMIF function comes in, because you cannot use sum to do that, except you want to start, you know, they are together. What if we have it scattered? We have blue bag, then we have green bag, and then we have blue bag, then we have red hat. Like, what if we have a whole number of like thousands of rows, like for the products, and blue bags are scattered all around? It's not the bags, the products for the bag, they are not accordingly. You know, when I was inputting my data here, I put blue bag to blue bag, anything, everything bag 1, 2, 3. You can see it together for cap. You can see it together for art. Now, what if you have 1,000 data and then bag is separate, is scattered throughout the rows? How are you going to know this sum for only bag? So for you to know it, you have to use the SUMIF function. So how do we use the SUMIF function? So let me just put the bag here. I have my bag. Sorry. Let's just have it like this. The product, and then for the other one, we have our total revenue. So for the product, we have just, we will not start mentioning the color since they are under one category for the blue, red, green for the bags. So let's just put it in category. We have our bag, the next one we have our cap, and then the next one we have our hat. So how do we go about knowing the total for bag, the total for cap, the total for art? Now let's use our SUMIF function. Mr. Okiki told us that every Excel function have to start with equals to. All right. If you just put in this B1 plus B2, you are not going to get anything. Yes, you will not get anything. It will give you error or give you something like name and put question mark. So every Excel function starts with what? Equals to. Now for us to know the total number for bag, we are going to use SUMIF. Now we input our SUMIF, then range. When they say range, what are they talking about? They're talking about the category. They're talking about the category. And for the criteria, what will be the criteria? Since we are looking for the criteria is the product, which is the bag, because we are looking for the total revenue for what? For a bag. So the criteria is, it will not be range. Right? When they are talking about range, it has to be like more than a figure or more than, it should be like a list. So for criteria, it has to be one particular thing that you want to reference. And then when you are dealing with all this function, always look at, you can see where my cursor is. This SUMIF, you can see range, there's criteria, comma, and then there is sum age. When you see something like sum age range, they're talking about, revenue, talking about figure. Then I have my comma,
Please, Victoria, how did you get the criteria at C14?
Okay, let me come back. It might not be C14 for you. You can even click on the bag here. You can click on the bag because I'm referencing the bag. I'm looking for the total number for the what? For the bag alone. The total revenue for the bag. You can take the bag from the category here. But because me, I have already imputed it here. I have to retype it because I've already typed it here. Bag, cap, and hat. So when I click on this bag, it gives me C14.
Okay,
look at it here.
You have to click on it. Okay. I now understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. So after clicking on it, we have our sum range. The sum range is talking about the revenue. Close your bracket and then enter. We have 60,000. Since I've already put this thing here, I can drag it. I can drag it down because there's bag here, there's cap here, there's art here. Excel is very intelligent and it knows that I'm talking about cap.
Very, very.
So I have 60,000. If you say we want to start calculating one after the other, you will see that we are correct. Now for the bag, we have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. When you calculate it, you see that it's 60,000. Now for our cap, we have 40,000. 40,000 plus 50,000, that is 90,000. 90,000 plus 60,000, that is 150,000. You can see that it's correct. And for our
we are
hat,
correct.
70, 80, 90. So it might look like it's simple, yeah. But then when you have a lot of data with, like voluminous, sorry, the English is big. So when you have a big data and your product as captured. There's no way you can start, this one I'm seeing it here. That's why I can start calculating it one after the other and see that I'm correct. I'm seeing. But when you have a large data, you just have to use the formula and boom, work is made easier. All right. So that's that about SUMIF. I trust that we have done
Oh,
that.
sorry, please. Can we do it again? Sorry, I missed the after the criteria. I
Sorry,
missed what was next. I'm sorry.
I got 0.
Same here
You got
too.
0.
Yes.
Okay, did you put bag cap at like this?
Sorry.
I'm coming. There's only one way you can get 0. So let's see. I'm coming. I want to do something. Trying to figure out why you get 0. But do you do what I did?
Yes. Okay, I've gotten it now.
Hello, please, Mark. Can you click on the cell so that I can see the formulas the way you did them?
Okay. For the sum, if I use the category, and then for the criteria, I click on the bag, and then for the revenue, for the last one, what's the last one again? That's the sum range.
Okay, I've gotten it. Thank you.
Have you gotten it now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So that means we can move. So can we just create another sheet and type SUMIFS? I'm trying to check the messages that I entered. When you quote bag, let me go back. Equals to, okay, let me use this. Okay, but I was talking about this bag. When you quote it, you will get it, but when you drag it, it will not work. Because look at it. For this bag, we use bag. When you go to the cap that we drag, it's still showing bag. Let's see if I change it to cap. But that might be like a lot of stress on it. Let's see cap. you can see we got the answer because we start typing, imputing it ourselves. So you can use it. Say art. You cannot see the screen. Should I zoom it?
Otuayo, please,
Yeah.
before the sum if, because I joined the class late, so I'm trying to catch up. So I've gotten to the point where you are doing the sum if submission. So, but right now you are already editing the parts, that parts bag, cap, and art. So before that, I know there's a range. Yeah. So the first one is range from C3 to like C11 thereabouts. Then the second one, what's the second one? The criteria. What's the criteria? Is it the bag itself, or you type bag, or you click on
And
this?
we can type back, but this is what I will advise. The one I did first. This is what I
Okay.
did first. Sum if, then the range, which is the what? The bag, the
Yes.
bag cap and all that. We have our comma, the criteria
Okay.
is bag. Let me reference it
Okay.
here. Since I type it here, I can
Okay.
put it here too. Then here, I have a
Then
revenue.
the sum range. Okay. So there must be a comma always. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So you close the bracket.
So this, you can see this one is different because I put the bag in quote, I put the cap in quote. When you check your formula bar, this one I put the heart in quote. But in this place, since I type out my bag, cap, and art out, so me, I would actually
Thank
prefer
you.
that.
Thank you, Motunrayo. I've done it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So for the sum is can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, we
Yes,
can.
yes.
For this sum if I will be typing in another data, but we can use that data, sure. So let's just copy and paste. So if there's any need to add something, we add it. So you can do your Control C and then paste it. Okay, sorry. All right, can we just add in one more? Let's just add in one more column. And let's call that the sales person. All right, please give me a minute.
Hello, Mutuayo, can you hear me? I can't hear you.
She said we should give her a minute. She said we should give her a minute.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so sorry for the break in transmission. I have to attend to something. Okay, can you all hear me now?
Yes, Motorayo.
Yes, ma'am. Can.
Okay, you can see that this one, when I added salesperson, it automatically did format painting. So for the salesperson, let me use the name of those people in the class. Let me use Adiroba. And let me okay, for the SUMIFS, I have this. I'm using this. So I added salesperson. I have Adiroba. I have Yemi. I have Yemi. I have Ayo. I have Adiroba again. I have Bola. Bola Adiroba. Chokbe. Now for the sum ifs, is a little bit technical, like it has some other functions than sum if, like it has additional thing with it. That is for the sum ifs. So we are doing the sum ifs here. When you type in your sum ifs, you can see those things that it brought out. It's quite different from when we did sum if, that it brought out the criteria range. Is it criteria range? It brought out the criteria range, brought out the criteria, and it brought out
Some range.
yes. So when we are doing this sum ifs, the first thing that is brought out here is dealing with figure, unlike the other one that we first of all make use of the what, the category. So when they're talking about range, I said it earlier, that is more than one figure, is more than one value when you're talking about range. And then we have our comma. The criteria range. This one is still talking about range again. It's not talking about just one criteria. So for the criteria range, it's not talking about figure 2. So let's just pick our product. All right. Or let me use the category. Let me use the category. I don't think the product is important here. Let me use the category. So the next thing here, put your comma. We have our criteria 1. The criteria 1 can be, we'll pick one from the what category. It can be either bag, can be either cap, can be either hat. So before I continue, let me just tell you the function of sum ifs. All right. The sum ifs, as you can see on our screen, it has the following arguments. It has the sum range, it has the criteria range 1, it has the criteria, it has the criteria range 2, etc. All right. So the sum range is actually the range of cells that you want to sum, and that is our what? Our revenue. The criteria range 1 is the range of cells where we want to apply our criteria to. That is the range of cells. This is the range of cells for the criteria range 1, the range of cells we want to apply our criteria to. All right. So, and our criteria will be picked from this one, the criteria range. The last one, the criteria range 2, this one, I'm just stopping here. But if you have more data, that's when you start using comma, 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 comma. So for the criteria range 2 is the additional ranges and criteria that you want to apply. So for the SUMIFS function, it actually returns the sum of the values in the sum range that meets all the specified criteria. So let's just do the practical. So we've done our sum range, which is the range of cells that we want to sum. And then the next one, the criteria range, is the bag, the product. Then our criteria, we pick this bag. Then we have our comma. So for our criteria range 2, we pick this. So that should be our salesperson. So we pick our salesperson. We have a comma, and I want to pick a day robber. So this will literally bring out the revenue that Aderoba generated on bag. So can we just enter it? That's 10,000 naira. I hope we understand. Or I should come again.
It's a bit technical.
Please come again. Oh.
So that's why I said it has. Okay, just listen to me. SUMIF function, SUMIFS, not SUMIF. SUMIFS function, all right, is used to sum values in a range based on multiple criteria. As you can see, look at criteria. Criteria is just so much. Criteria. Now, for instance, it now asks you to look for the person that generated, the salesperson that generated the highest revenue for arts. How are you going to do that? Or they said, oh, look for Yemi's revenue for bag. Or look for Tokpe's revenue for bag. If I do for Tokpe, it will literally bring out 0 because Tokpe did not even have any revenue for bag. Tokpe did not have revenue for bag. When we did Aderoba, it brought out 10,000 naira because Aderoba sold something on bag.
$10,000. Motoraya is not naira, dollars.
Oh, no verse, my brother. Okay. They deny your country
Now you
currency.
start them.
You know,
You
supposed
say you like dollars
be
now.
like
Now
that.
you start them first.
Now you start them.
Now you select them all.
Now you truly, now you.
Okay, no problem. So your company asks you to look for Yemi's revenue for bag. How are you going to do that? It has different arguments, different criteria. So this time around, I'm not using Aderoba again. I'm using Mr. Yemi because I know that Mr. Yemi has plenty revenue for bag. So because me looking at it, I already know what I wanted, all right, because the value or this table is not much. I can easily calculate it because it's not a large data set. It's just something small. So equals to SUMIFS. This is my SUMIFS. All right. What's the first thing I pick? Sum range.
Revenue.
Which is the
Revenue.
what? Revenue. Comma. What's the criteria range? Our products.
The category.
Sorry, I didn't pick this.
Didn't pick the song range.
Workspace. Let me just put my 11. Comma. Our products, which is the criteria range. And what's the criteria range one? This is just so that this one is for this. This one is for this. Hey, who is thinking for us? So
Please mute yourself. Who is disturbing?
So this is for this. The criteria is for criteria range 1 is for criteria 1. And you should know that when we are talking about range, it's talking about data that value that is not more than that is more than 1. And when you're talking about criteria, it's just talking about 1. So far you know that this is for this, so you will not be confused. So when you've already highlighted this for your range, then for the criteria, let's just pick one data set and one value, which is the bag. It's still dealing with word, is not figure. And then we have our comma. Criteria range 2, salesperson. Since we are looking for the revenue that Yemi brought in for us, Yemi's revenue for bag. All right. So we've already highlighted that salesperson, and then let's pick Yemi and enter. I brought out 50,000 naira. I already, because I can see my data, I already know what I was expecting. So that is, SUMIFS has different arguments. And look at it, if you calculate it, and you can see that Yemi, the two Yemi is under bag. When you calculate the revenue for bag for Yemi, it's 50,000 naira. So do we get it now?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
No, please. So, please, can you
Yeah,
click on the
we did
formula?
not get it.
The cell. Let me see the formula, please.
Okay. That's the formula.
Motor,
Yes.
this one, can we please create like another column for this one, like total revenue for bags or something, so that I'll just know and follow it. Maybe just do like another column on the side instead of we doing it one and cleaning it. I don't know, and deleting it. Maybe just give it more depth.
You mean I should copy this and paste it again?
No, I mean like okay, maybe just me that just think like we are doing total revenue for each salesperson for bag. So we've done for a driver for bag and we've done for Yemi
Okay.
for bag. So maybe we should just do like another column and just put it like total revenue for bag for salesperson or something. So it will give it more
Miami.
depth.
Me, it's like,
This is the total revenue for bag. Okay, sorry. I think I'm doing every mistake. So I should just do Mary, please, can you mute yourself?
Yes, I mean per salesperson, not like the total per salesperson.
Okay, this one is for Yemi for bag. So by the time I do like 3 or 4, people that did not understand, we have understood like that, right?
Yes,
Okay, this is
yes.
for Yemi's bag revenue. So let's do for. So which one should we do for? And what products should we do for the person?
I thought we did
Top.
Ade rubber first.
Okay.
All right. So is it for bag or for cap or for art? So let's just do for art. So equals to SUMIFS this, comma, this, comma. Let's just pick cup, comma, this, comma. The last one, we pick at the rubber. So we brought out 50K because if we look at it, so let me just type at the rubber cap revenue. So when we check it, you can see that Aderoba's cap revenue is 50,000 naira. So let's pick another name and another product. We've done for hear me.
For this second one. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's just do for, I'm looking for the one that will give us more numbers. But since I scattered the number. So let's go for Tokpe Arts. My name is Tokpe anyways. So I think I have more money than all of you. Tokpe's art revenue.
Is Tokpe your last name, your surname? Because there's a Tokpe Muturayo.
Is my second name. I'm Mutsurayo Tokpe. So we have our SUMIFS equals to SUMIFS equals to SUMIFS our sum range, which is the revenue, comma, the criteria range, that's the product, comma, oh, I didn't pick my product finish. The criteria 1, so I'm looking at the arts. That's my criteria. And what's the next one? The salesperson, comma, Tokpe. Enter. I have $90,000. That's that about SUMIFS. Are we good to go? Can we move to the next one?
Yes, please.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. Means you can't if you can give your tab, you can give it a tab color.
Muturayo, sorry, how do you give the sheet the color?
Look at where my cursor is.
Okay.
Then right click. You can see your tab color.
Okay, thanks.
For my count if, I'm thinking if this data will work with it. Okay. It will, so we can. So I don't just want to be typing. I want us to. All right. So let's just copy our data. You have done that. Just let me know.
Done.
Done.
All right. So for our count if, and if you want to do our normal count, you can just do 0 equals to count. We were taught count in the last class. I believe so, because I watched the video. So if you want to do your normal count, you can just do something like this. Just for us to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's just count. But when we have count if is always anything if we always have something you are referencing. So equals to count if. What's the range? The range can be, let's just use our salesperson. This range, comma, what's the criteria? We want to know how many Yemi that we have here. How many times does Yemi appear? How many times does Adiroba appear? How many times do we have what? Stockme. So let's just use Adiroba as our criteria. And then we enter. Adiroba appears 3 times. So that's its count of Adiroba. So let's do another one. For count if. What's the range? Count of Yemi. We have 2. Well understood, right? Do I move on?
Yes, Mutunaya.
I should do it again. Okay, let's do another count, and I'm moving to the next one, please. Equals to count if. For this time around, let me just use for revenue. So for revenue, let me just use this range. I want to know how many times $10,000 appear, comma, let's reference our 10,000 as our criteria. Enter. You can see that it brought out 1. Please hold on. So can I move?
Excuse me, mine is giving 2 for Aderoba. I don't know why that is. Instead of 3.
So you have 3 Aderoba. Do you pick Aderoba or you go and pick Yemi? When you are picking your criteria, what did you pick? Is it Aderoba you pick or is Yemi? Equals to COUNTIF comma Aderoba. So I guess I can move.
You can move on, ma. I will sort it out. Thank you.
Count. How long? So for our count is I just want to explain it first. For count is whenever you see S, we have if, we have ifs. And whenever you see ifs, that means it's talking about multiple criteria. All right. For the COUNTIFS function, it's used to count the number of cells in a range that meets multiple criteria. And if you check my screen, you can see the syntax for COUNTIFS. We have the criteria range, we have criteria, and then dot. So the criteria range is talking about the first range of cells that you are applying the criteria to. While the criteria 1 is the first criteria to apply. Those other criteria, those dot is just like additional ranges. So, and how does this work? It returns the count of cells in the criteria range that meet all of the specified criteria. So let's just put it in practical. So let's use something else. Let's just use something else here. So for instance, we have region we have products, and then we have revenue again. So for our region, we have north, south, north, for the products, let's work with our bag, cap, and hat again. Bag, cap, cap, hat. For our revenue, let me just pick from here. So I've typed in our data. Okay, this is what we are working with. We are doing our COUNTIFS. Can I move?
Yes, from my end.
Yes, you can move on.
Well, I guess we can use other data too. We can use this data too, but I just want us to change. That's why I have to do this. All right. For our COUNTIFS, equals to COUNTIFS, we have our criteria range. For my country, if the criteria range 1, I want to use my revenue. Comma. Let me remove the dollar sign.
Well, that, yeah, and that's coming back, what's back, crap, lost the sticks without.
Let me just make use of the figure. Okay. So I'm doing it like this. For the count is, I'm using my quantity as my first criteria range. Then comma.
Please, Motrai, how did you remove the dollars? Sorry.
I changed the, look at it, I changed it to
Custom, change it
number,
to, okay.
number.
Okay, all right.
Then I
Thank you.
reduce the decimal from here. I
All
decrease
right,
the decimal from here.
all right, thank you.
So equals to count ifs now this is, I want to do something. I want it to return the number of, okay, let me do it finish. I should be able to explain when I do it finish. Multiple. It's quicker than. Total shift, please count. Okay. Okay, this is what I did. I wanted to bring out the cap that we showed, like the quantity of bag that we showed, all right? And I put this criteria that I wanted the number of bags that we that the quantity is more than 10,000. So I wanted to know how the quantity. Sorry, I'm trying to look for the English to use. Now I have this criteria range. My criteria range is quantity, all right, greater than 10,000. So I wanted the count of caps that their quantity is more than 10,000. I wanted the count of bag that their quantity is more than 10,000. So this is what I did. My criteria range is this, which is the quantity, because that's what I'm referencing. Like I wanted the count of bag that their quantity is above 10,000. So I highlighted the quantity as the criteria range. Then I typed in this greater than 10,000. I have to put it in quotes. And I typed it myself. So I put it in quotes. It's not that I put greater than before I now put 10,000 in quotes. Both greater than and 10,000 is in quotes. Then this second criteria is the product. All right, what I wanted to count. And then I picked cap out that the account is more than 10,000. So when I enter it, it gave me 3. Now I have 3. When we look at it with our mere eyes, because we can see the data without scrolling, you will see that the count of bag 20,000. I said less than, it's greater than I wrote to. Yes, greater than 10,000. You can see that the count of bag here is 20,000. The count of bag cap here is 30,000. The count of cap here is 50,000. You can see that the 3 cap that we have here, the account is greater than 10,000. But if you do not get me, I will explain again. This is what I'm talking about. I wanted to know the count of bags, all right, that their quantity is greater than 10,000. So how do I do that? I picked out my criteria range 1, which is the quantity. Because we are not referencing one thing, we are referencing 2 things. We are referencing both the quantity and the product. Because we are talking about the what? The number, and we are talking about the bag. Unlike this COUNTIF here. This COUNTIF here, we only use just 2 criteria, 1 range, and then we pick from this place again. We highlighted the range for salesperson, and we still pick the criteria under sales. So it's quite different with COUNTIFs. If you've seen those ifs we've been dealing with, we are having more than 1 criteria, and we're having multiple criteria. Now I have this. We are referencing what? 2 things. Now for my quantity, this is it. Normally, I can try to do it like this without me imputing greater than 10,000. But I just decided to do it that way because we have various ways to do calculations in Excel. So if I want to do it in another way, I can use COUNTIFs. COUNTIFs. Highlight this, comma, and I can pick 10,000, 20,000, comma, this place, comma, the range. I don't think it will give us something. It will give me 0. Why is it giving me 0? Because I picked bag and I needed bag that is 20,000 naira. I wanted the count of bag that the quantity is 20,000, but it is not here. The bag we have here 10,000. The another bag we have here is 70,000. So it will literally give me 0. So that's why I decided to work with this, which is I'm dealing with greater than 10,000. greater than 10,000, and I have a lot of things that are greater than 10,000, all right, we only have one 10,000, but it did not stop there. What are we referencing again? What is greater than 10,000 you are looking for? Okay, I want the count of cap that is greater than 10,000. And look at it. Look at it here. The cap here is 20,000. It brought out 3 count of cap. 1, 2, 3. And the 3 of them, if we check our data, we can see that it's greater than what? 10,000. So that's that about that. I don't know if you want me to. All right. Sheung, can I have you? Sheung, can I have you?
Is it not the same that just joined?
Okay, I wanted to ask. I thought that it's only when you're dealing with string. Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now. You said what?
Yes, I wanted to ask. I thought it was when it's only when you are dealing with strings that you have put your this thing in double quotation. So are dealing with strings that you put it in double quotation. So I noticed that you put the 10,000 in double quotation. So why is that?
Because I'm calling it out. And it's not here. What I have to type it manually. It's not like I pick it from here. So I have to put it in quotes. If I type it without quotes, you can see it's not giving me the answer. So there's a problem with this formula. So it will not
typing. Not trying to type
quotes
a formula.
for me to have my answer. I manually imputed it. I didn't pick it from anywhere here. So it's not only when you are dealing with string. It's not only when you are dealing with string that you can use your double quotation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. My system is very low, and there's no lights. We are almost done because we're supposed to end this class by 9. It just gave me signal that my system is low. So I guess I will have to do the session. Okay. Lori Okafor.
Good evening, Ma. Good evening, Mr. Pichi and every other person. I appreciate the class. Please, my question is, how do we, let's say we have a big data, like the screen is full or the sheet is full. How do we actually know that, okay, it's quantity we are picking and it's product we are picking? Because sometimes we might have different figures. You get I mean the criteria and the range. Now we are working with
Okay.
just
When you are
few
working with
numbers
data,
or few columns. Yes, this one now we are just working with just three
Okiki is still
columns.
on the
Let's
call
say
because
the
I saw
place
him
is
raised
full.
his hand.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. I wanted to confirm if Mr. Okiki is on the call.
Okay.
He's not on the call. Can you go ahead, please?
Yes, I
I
am.
think he just left. Okay.
Okay.
So as I was saying, during the count if we picked revenue, we picked salesperson and category as the case may be. So I tried something else, picking products, like picking the whole column of products to trying to maneuver this. So how are we going to be very sure that yes, it's revenue we're supposed to pick at a particular time when we have a big load or a big data to work with? I don't know if you get my question.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry, my system just went off, so I have to continue with my phone. So can you hear me from here?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
When working with data, so there should be a question for it. All right. So there might be we might have this large data, and you have where you are going to. So what you are trying to find will determine what you are going to pick. Like I was saying earlier, that I wanted to just know the count, like the count of cap that is greater than this. You might decide to look for something else, or you might be working with a company and this is they are telling you to look for something else. All right. So you don't just start doing what you don't know.
Okay,
So
let me rephrase the
most
question. Let
time
me
is to
rephrase the
answer
question.
questions.
Let me rephrase the question.
All right.
What I meant was, how do we determine the criteria? I think that should be the actual or the proper question. How do we determine the criteria?
If you check your, when we type equals to some ifs, it will bring it out like the range criteria, and then the next one you have the criteria. So when you pick on the range criteria, just know that the criteria you are picking will be what under that range that you pick. All right. You cannot pick a range criteria from revenue and you go and pick another criteria from product. It will not work that way. So what you will be referencing will be under that range criteria. I don't know if that answered. Mr. Okiki, do you understand? You are raising up your hand.
Yes, I understand. I want to, maybe when you are done.
Okay. Do you mean now? Or for a question?
Okay, so for a question, I wanted to show, to be honest, I didn't really understand a question. Maybe Glory, maybe you can explain the last
Okay,
time. I would
okay,
100%.
okay, the last time. So we used a formula, or we used a function, sorry, count if you get, and count if is giving us a formula which is criteria, range criteria, and the rest of them.
Yes.
How do we determine the column that is criteria?
Okay.
You get, how do we determine the column that is that we are supposed to choose as
To use
criteria
as
before
criteria.
choosing the criteria range.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I get it now. So I'm going to explain with an example. Let me share my let me share my screen. Please, I hope you can hear me very well.
Yes,
Loud and
sir.
clear.
Perfectly.
Yes.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, yes.
Okay, okay, yes. So we have these shorts. I think this is just 39 rows, but we have columns up to column AE in this data. So basically, what this data shows us is this is a sales data um, of products that was sold. So you can see this is the item name, and this is the quantity, this is the gross amount, net amount, blah blah blah, like that. So let's say your manager calls you and says, okay, we need to count we need to count the number of let's pick this SPG22 for example. We need to know the total number of generators that was sold for SPGP22. I'm trying to think of the perfect example, but let me start typing first. I'm sure when I start typing, something will come to my head. COUNTIFS. So COUNTIFS, meaning we are counting, but we want to use multiple criteria. Now we can use criteria as much as you can go as more as I think 127 criteria you can specify in counting. So the first thing, I'm sure Mutuaya has explained all this, your criteria range, then the way you should look at it is there's always a range, and in that range there has to be something you are looking for in that range. That is, when I was learning this, that was how I was able to quickly pick it up. There's a range and there's something you are looking for in that range. So let's say criteria range, and the first thing I want to look at is the generators that were sold, which is this. Now, criteria range, you can see that the range is selecting the whole of column G all the way down. It doesn't matter, don't worry. The only time you should worry is if you know that your data has unnecessary stuff underneath. That is when you can now decide to make this shorter. You can now say 40 G2 to G40. Let's just keep it like this, clean. Then comma. Then what is my criteria? SPG SPG 22, comma So once you put your comma, it will go to the next criteria range. So now you now say, okay, what is the next thing you want to look at? So XPG22, let's say we want to look at, okay, how many like sales rep, how many sales rep sold SPG 22, or let's say Abosede, for example. Abosede over here. Can we see my screen?
Yes, boss, we can see it.
Okay. Let's say Abosede, for example. Abosede is a sales rep. So we want to know how many generators Abosede SPG, for example, SPG 22. How many SPG 22 did Abosede sell? So the next thing we want to pick is the range that contains sales rep. I would also edit this to 40, then comma. So now it's now left for me to pick Abosede's name.
So, sir, what function do you use to highlight everything without having to scroll down?
I just clicked on the, let me show you again. I just clicked on this, on the column. Once it show you this arrow that is pointing down, click on it. It will automatically select it for you. You get it?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So if I click on, once I hover my arrow over this, it will change the cursor to like an arrow facing down. So you click on that, it will automatically select the cell for you, and it will also give you the name of the cell, CT, all the way down. But I don't want that. I want to select a particular range, so I'm going to name it to comma. Then I select Abosede. I don't want it. I want it T. Abosede is in T2. Yes. So I have selected Abosede. Now to your question, Glory. You can see that I decided what I wanted to do along the line, but your question would have been from the question you get, or from the problem you are trying to solve, you would have known what you want to pick. So for example, now what I'm solving now, the question might have been, okay, I want you to look at how many SPG 22 did Abosede sell. How many SPG 22 generator did Abosede sell? This is a way you would look at it. You know, it will be different if your manager asks you that, what is the total amount, or what is the total sum, or what is the total amount that Abosede sell that is SPG 22. That one you use SUMIF. Or they say, okay, what is the average sales Abosede sell and sold? That's when you use average if, something like that. So when I close my parentheses and I click enter, you can see that Abosede sold 0. She sold 0 SPG 22. She sold 0. But that is how you would understand, or that is how you would figure out this. Yeah, I think you've gotten what I'm saying, Sha. I'm tired. I just go back from work, so my brain is not working 100%. But you get what I'm saying. That is how you would. And we can also specify this. You can see that when I over this, I think I'll be using this thing for class. It's showing all the drop, all the highlights, unlike when I use the normal Excel. But you can see that T2 is telling us this is Abosede, and you can also see that it is putting Abosede in quotes. So it's telling you indirectly that when you want to type Abosede, you have to put Abosede in quotes as well. So don't forget that. G3 also is in quote as well. But let's just check. Let's check Chineye to be sure. So we'll do COUNTIFS again. Count is what's the column again? Column G, okay, G2 to G40. Then SPG, SPG, SPGP22, SPGP22, comma, then C2 to C40, comma. I don't have strength to type Chineye's name, so let's just select T3. I hope this works. So you can see that Chineye only sold one SPG P22. Now, even for us to confirm that what we are looking at is actually right, we can filter out Divine, please hold on. We can just filter out every other person to remain Chineye. Oh, Chineye just sold 3 generators as a whole, and we can see that SPG is the only one here. And select SPG, apply, and just one quantity sale. So this didn't lie. It did not lie. Data, let me clear this filter. Clear filter. Let's check the first one we did also, which is Abosede. Let's filter Abosede. Apply. Abosede only sold 4 generators. Then, and obviously she didn't sell SPG P22. I feel like when next you are coming, please come with your data. Let's work with the data. That's the assignment. Go and look for data that we can work with. So I hope that answers your question, Glory. Then
Perfectly, sir. Thank you very much.
There's a lot of you're welcome. There's a lot of what is it called? What is this word now? Creative, yes. There's a lot of creative ways you can use all these if functions, especially when you have large data and you need to quickly move, like you need to move around. You find creative ways to use these COUNTIFs that you will be surprised as well. But yes, Divine, what is your question? Oh, Divine, you don't have a question.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you very much for this class. So I wanted to ask, is Excel case sensitive in the sense that, let's say probably you spelled Abosede, the first letter was with capital letter, and maybe the other place you spelled Abosede, you started with a small letter. So is Excel case sensitive in this aspect?
I don't know. Let's check. Let me clear this. So I've copied Abosede. Clear. This thing doesn't want to clear. It wants to disappoint me. Let's just clear this.
No, just tap on the.
All right. So we know that we used Abosede, right? No, this one. We used Abosede. Yes, we use Abosede. So let's put Abosede in this T2. Okay. Now, we also know that this is the correct spelling of Abose. So let's change Badmus. Let's change it to small letter. Badmus. Let's see if it will work. It still works. Even with the fact that we change Badmus capital letter, we change it to, let's change this T as well. Let's change this A as well. And let's change Bosse A to capital letter. Let's see. It still works. We don't have any error at all. So seems like it is not skin sensitive. I didn't know this myself, but brilliant. Any other question? Let me leave the class to my boss. She should continue. Yes, Kehinde.
Yes, good evening, sir. Please, how do we put words in quotes? I didn't quite get that one.
Okay, how do we put words in quotes? So, on your keyboard, you have single quote like this. Or is it single quote they call it? You should have quotes that are singular, that are not double. Then when you press shift, you will get the double ones. Is it double quote they call it? Or single quotes? But then you would how do I explain this now? Yes, does somebody want to help me? If you want to help me, please unmute.
Yes, let me help.
Thank you.
Okay. Instead of let's say you want to pick that Abosede,
Yes.
instead of clicking on Abosede cell, you can just double quote, click on that shift quote, then the double quote will come out. You type Abosede, close the quote again. It will capture the same Abosede that is on the cell.
The quote is the icon is on 8, right?
It's on 8. No, it's
Or
not
where
on
is
8.
the quote? I can't find it.
The code is if you check on your keyboard, if you check the row that has ASDFGHJKL, then you will see
Yes, close to
quotes.
enter. It's very
I've
close to
seen it.
enter.
Yes, I've
Yes,
seen it. Thank you
yes,
so much.
that's the code. You're welcome. Any other question?
Sir, please. Yesterday you dropped a document. I just want to know or be sure.